What up? So in this video, I want to give some spiritual advice to each of the elements of the zodiacs in astrology. So let me start out with my belief regarding which elements are most likely to be spiritual and even be fascinated with something like astrology, numerology, the chakras, meditation, any form of, common spirituality practices, and which ones are not. And then I will discuss the basics behind each element, what they are like, what personality traits they have, and give them some spiritual advice to get ahead in life and succeed. So basically, it is believed that the four elements are not separate from us. This is taught by Masons, Carl Jung, the alchemists. So, like magicians use this. This is something that has been around for a very long time as archetypal energies, something that even is not tied to just the zodiac. And so, basically, the four elements is what makes up our human body, our psyche, like our entire being. And so, it is something that is not separate from us, it explains an aspect of ourselves. And these four elements combine to make up, these four elements are all powered by ether, the fifth element. And so um, the most grounded, uh, element would be earth because it is the most solid. And people who are of the earth element are, in my belief, some of the least likely to be interested in anything spiritual because it is just the most physically sort of dense element, and spirituality is something that is of the ether element. And so people of the earth element can be more focused on, the physical, materialistic part of life. They think more in terms of facts, statistics, evidence. Is it proven by science? If not, then it's not real. But these people are very grounded in physical reality. They are very practical. Think of like the Virgo, how practical they are, and they are some of the most reliable and trustworthy people on the wheel. Then after them, we probably, in my belief, have the air element. The air is intellectual. These are some of the smartest people in, based on elements, not when it comes to emotional intellect, not when it comes to spiritual insight, strictly like the IQ sort of thing, the intellect, the rational mind. And yeah, they can be some of the most emotionally detached um, elements because they are all about the mind. I, for example, have a moon in Aquarius, although I have a sun in Cancer. Sun in Cancer, water, it is all about emotion. Then I have the moon in Aquarius, and that is all about like emotional detachment. So that creates a very unique dynamic for me. It's like counterintuitive almost. And air is, for example, we have the Gemini, an air sign, ruled by Mercury. Mercury, the fastest moving planet um, of the galaxy, and ruled by the Greek god Hermes, the messenger of the gods, the god of thieves, who could travel both to the heavenly realms of Olympus and to the underworld of Hades. So it is kind of like a quick moving, shapeless sort of energy, the air, because it has no form. It is, if you walk outside, someone says air isn't real. Like, you can't see it, but it for sure is real, you see? And Hermes at some point got like trapped in some kind of like castle or something, I don't remember, and there was like a wooden door with a little slit behind, like under it, and he turned himself into a gas, and that is how he was able to escape from that little window, and that's how he escaped. So it's a shapeless, formless energy. They are very adaptable, which is why they are very good at social interactions. They do very well in business, anything having to do with speech, language, communication, networking. And they are very analytical. They are very rational as well. They really need to prioritize their mental health and find ways to reconnect with their emotions and their physical body and not just remain in their head, because that is how they can become stuck. And that is how they can develop mental health issues. They are probably some of the most prone for that because they are like the philosophers, the inventors, the people that get things done, are very sharp, but they go crazy, sort of. And that's why they need to have some sort of outlet for this intellectual drive. They need to either be writing a book, writing a blog, even writing something like threads or, on Twitter, like X, whatever, or, creating some form of social media content, having a journal, anything where they can express their thoughts, their beliefs, and yeah, just their thought patterns throughout the day. So that is that for the air. What did I want to mention for the earth? Some spiritual advice for the earth element as well. They should, reach for these spiritual pursuits and not remain so grounded, and they can actually have a very good progress on their spiritual pursuit because they are not going to fly off into the cosmos like some other elements. They are going to remain grounded, they are going to remain on earth, and so they're not going to have this sort of spiritual psychosis where they lose themselves, where they go all in into spirituality and then lose any sort of practicality, anything, grounded, fixed in their life, you see. That's that. They are going to do well in that. Then I believe comes the water element. So the water element is all about emotions. It is the flow. It is connected to the moon, to the ocean, and the moon pulls on the ocean's tides. We are 80% water, so it's all sort of this thing. I'm a Cancer, so ruled by the moon, Um, they are very great at manifesting because if you're familiar with Neville Goddard, he is talking about, feeling your wish already fulfilled. What would it feel like were you in the position you desire to be in? Because that emotional attachment towards your vision and desired manifestation is going to give it so much more energy. It is going to add, intention, energy through multiple layers onto your desired manifestation. And that is going to make it so much more likely to become reality. And then he speaks about similar things having to do with visualization. He basically decodes the Bible. It's pretty cool stuff. I like him. What else? So yeah, that is why they're able to manifest very rapidly. They must keep their emotions balanced because the water dealing with the emotions, the moon dealing with the emotions. So they would benefit greatly from connecting with a body of water, something like a lake, a river, an ocean, because they would be able to receive the sort of grounding earth frequency, and that is going to increase their psychic intuition, increase their um, creativity, because the water is one of the most psychic signs. A lot of sort of mediums or psychics or people who do channeling, they are a Scorpio, Cancer or Pisces, because it is the most psychic, sort of intuitive sign. That is what they do, that is what they know how to do. So they are probably already going to be, having delved deep into spirituality, um, because all the water signs just relate to what spirituality is, and they are likely to discover it pretty early on in their life. So yeah, the water is conducting, connecting, merging, then dissolving. It is flowing. It is about, in human anatomy, the bladder, the urinary system, the kidneys, um, the sacral chakra, which rules over sexuality, the creative process. And it is also tied to emotions. You see, each chakra has an element tied to it. I believe air is the heart, earth is the root chakra, the sacral chakra is fire because it is like the sun, fiery element. Water is the sacral chakra is water, and then the throat chakra, third eye chakra, and crown chakra are of the ether element because they do not have fixed form, fixed structure. They are intangible. The throat, like the words you say, the third eye, the thoughts you have, or the spiritual intuitions you have, whatever. The crown chakra, the connection you have with basically the cosmos, like that is something that is intangible, that is something that is not grounded material. It cannot even have an element. Hence, it is the fifth element, ether. So that's that. Fire is, I believe, the most spiritually inclined sign because fire is sort of the closest to ether. Fire is the closest to ether because it's almost like intangible, you see. Um, it is, but at the same time, it's coming closer than air, water, earth, you see. And that's why they should light sage or light up whatever they choose to light up. You see, it is going to allow them to, whether it is a candle, whether it is sage, whether it's some, OG Kush 9 billion Goblin Za hybrid Kush mince runs super lemon haze fluffy cupcake marker 90 Kalashnikov Kush from Afghanistan OG Hyper Kush. If they want to do that, that is up to them. That's completely up to them. But either way, they are going to be connecting with the fire element. If you think about like what taking a bong rip is, a bong rip is like you inhaling it, right? So it's like air, then you have water from the water, then you have fire from the lighter, and then you have earth. And earth is like the product that is getting inhaled. So it's kind of like combining the four elements. And I think that has in the past balanced out all the chakras for me. Every chakra that I needed got balanced out because of combining the four elements, my friends. You see? Yeah. So, fire, it is a masculine element. It is all about aggression, drive. It is an unstable element. They are likely to be violent or be alcoholics or have addictions, go crazy, be aggressive. It is also tied to religious fanaticism. So, like, he's burning with, passion for some religious figure or burning with, another type of passion, more of the physical level. It is all about drive, leadership, achievements. They are very goal oriented. When they want something, they just go after it in a sense. And so they are already the most spiritually inclined, so they might be the ones who need grounding. They might be the ones who need some stability in their life because they already have this high spiritual inclination. They can just fly off into the cosmos completely. Um, that was a very generalized video, I believe. It does not fully apply to anyone. I think I just shared a couple of ideas around. I hope you could learn something. And if you want to study more about the four elements, and within my book, I mention the strongest and weakest chakra of each zodiac and how the zodiac ties into human anatomy, as you can see right there. The Keys to a Wizard's Treasure by me is available now. It is going to change your life. Thank you. Bye bye.